Hey, everybody, and welcome to Fascinating Words and Phrases. And in this episode, we're going to cover a topic or a phrase that actually was requested by one of our commenters, one of our subscribers, which is Tester Animal One. Thank you very much for your contribution and for commenting. And here's the answer to your question. Where does by the skin of your teeth come from?
This
Dexter,
is really a fascinating one, and I'm going to put my glasses on here because there's a couple of things that I want to get right. The reason being is that there is a biblical connotation to it.
Oh, right.
And I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm going to give you literally chapter and verse. The whole concept of by your skin of your teeth, which is strange because obviously our teeth don't have skin. The skin is above the teeth. And you know the phrase by the skin of your teeth, if you expand it, it's escaped with the skin of my teeth. And this, as I say, it comes from the King James Bible and is related to Job. And it comes in Job 19, verses 19, 20. And the reason that it's attributed to Job is because he suffered terrible illnesses that left him very thin, literally skin and bones, so we understand. And he expresses this, that thanks to God, he escaped with the skin of his teeth. I escaped with the skin of my teeth. And it means surviving by the thinnest or barest of margin.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we know that there is a layer of plaque on our teeth, but, you know, nobody, I don't think, in biblical times understood that.
I don't think they had toothbrushes, to be honest with you.
You know, they used to use twigs, don't they? Certainly the Africans used, in the ancient times, you used twigs, which had medicinal effect as well. So that's where it comes from. And just as I say, I'm going to read some of this because I don't want to get it wrong. And this is again attributed to Job in the Bible. And he says, "My bone cleaveth to my skin and to my flesh, and I am escaped with the skin of my teeth." And this is because he escaped death, whereas his children and the loss of his possessions, everything was calamitous. And Job escaped this death, but had this severe affliction. And supposedly he endured this when Satan was testing his faith. And God allowed him to escape in this way. He laments his physical and social ruin, describing himself as emaciated and abandoned by his friends and family. And that made me think, well, where does the phrase Job's comforter come from? And a comforter is a person who discourages or helps somebody come out of depression, but can actually put somebody in depression, which seems not to give comfort and consolation at all. And so I went a little bit further into this. But so why does a Job's comforter not give comfort to the person? And what is regarded as a comforter? And we therefore have to go back to ancient Greek. And the word is pateka, and I'm going to have to spell it, I think, patekletos, which occurs again in the Apostles of St. John and the Evangelist. And the writings in the Gospel of John refers to the Comforter as the Holy Spirit. So literally, Comforter means to call a person, to call the Holy Spirit to one side. And so that is it. That's the idea of Job's comforter, Job's trials and escaping by the skin of his teeth, a lot of it to do with these biblical references. And just to perhaps explain on a lighter note, recently I had a cataract operation. And while sitting there before my surgery, two volunteers came out to see me. One said, are you okay? You calm? If you like, I can hold your hand as we take you into the surgery. And I said, no, I'm fine, thank you. And a little bit later, another person came up to me and said the same thing. Are you okay? Can I help you and take you into the surgery? And I said, no. She said, well, I must tell you, when I had my cataract operation, it was so painful. And I really had some problems with my, and I said, thank you very much. And I looked at my wife, Fran, who was sitting next to me, and I said, that is what is called a Job's comforter. To give me solace and then tell me how bad it can be.
Yeah. So, it's going to really hurt.
So I think it can be said that it all went well. So I did escape by the skin of my teeth there.
You did escape by the skin of your teeth. There is another saying about teeth, which I always love. I learned it in the army, and it was one of the lads used to say it all the time. Is when somebody's really irritating you, and one of the lads used to say, "God, they make my teeth itch." And I thought, I love that saying. I still use it to this day, because obviously teeth don't itch, but somebody's annoying you so much that you're like,
Tommy Cooper used to have one of those as well, but I love that. Yeah. So annoying, it makes my teeth itch. Oh, God. It's like putting you on edge, isn't it?
Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. If you've got any phrases you'd like us to explore, please drop them into the comments. If you just want to join the conversation, then please feel free to do so. And like, comment, subscribe. New videos every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. And we'll see you next time for the next fascinating word and phrase.